Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here to MaxSpeedTV tonight. The National Speed Association here at the last great Coliseum. Only 5 minutes left here in practice, and we got some quick times at the top of the board here. Chris Stump back in action here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway, and he has a quick time of 14.596 at the top of the board. He's got Chris Garrett right behind him in that 57 machine, and how about Jamie Christensen there in your third spot? Charlie Widener, last week's winner, putting on a wild show, walking away with his first win here tonight, and a newcomer of Daniel, I believe his last name is Boulay, running there in your fifth spot here on track. It's his first race here with the National Speed Association, so welcome to Daniel in that 96 machine. Let's see how he's going to fare out here tonight. With just about 4 minutes here, let's take a quick peek here at your voice attack point standings for this league here, the National Speed Association. Chris Garrett has a 9-point lead over Charlie after his last week win. Chris Stump was only 1 point back, lost a handful of points last week after not being able to make the green flag. He fell to third, now 10 points back. Jamie Christensen, though, does find himself sitting fourth in your point standings right now, 17 points out of the league, and Doug Lemons there is running in your fifth spot in points. Dustin Phillips, after a rough week last week with his wheel locking up on the wave around, now finds himself 24 points out of your points championship hunt. Trey Hoovler, after having a ton of good runs back-to-back here, now runs seventh in points. Unfortunately, I don't see Trey Hoovler here tonight in attendance into the 13-car field here for Bristol. Stephen Page just entered the lobby, so the one machine of Stephen Page will be out there. Good to see Stephen. I know he had a power outage just a little while ago, but it looks like he will make the grid here this evening. JJ Fluffy Garrett finds himself ninth on the point standings, 45 points out of the lead from his brother Chris. AJ Hamill rounds out the top 10. And that's the rest of your drivers over there, 11 through 20. So you got a great points battle up at the top of your top three spots here between Chris Garrett, Charles Widener, and Chris Stump, only separated by 10 points. Jamie just sits there, just 17 points out of the points lead. So if Jamie can put together a good run here tonight, you close the gap on Chris. That's your point standings here after only a handful of races for these boys. This is race number 6 on the schedule. Only a handful of races left to go. We're halfway through the season here. Coming up next here for the National Speed Association, though, we do have qualifying coming up later on tonight. Actually going on just right now here on MaxSpeedTV. The NSRA, the Truck Series. It's a Super Speedway Series here on MaxSpeedTV going on right now. Also the I-States Trucks. Both those series happening tonight here on MaxSpeedTV. Tomorrow night, though, the United States Midget Association, broadcasted right here by myself tomorrow night, along with the OP Racing League, the Xfinity Super Speedway Series. That's all coming up Monday night here on MaxSpeedTV. Well, before we, just under the 2-minute warning here, we're going to step away. We're going to get our national anthem played, and we will be back to bring you live qualifying action for the National Speed Association, presented by Voice Attack, right here on MaxSpeedTV.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the the home of the brave.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the last great Coliseum as these drivers are getting ready to do battle around this tricky little concrete high bank track. And the first man out on track for qualifying going to be this 35 of JJ Fluffy Garrett in his wonderful pink number 35 Toyota. You will notice, ladies and gentlemen, tonight a lot of these drivers opting to go with Toyotas. It's like a Toyota family out here, and it's a mixture of, well, I want to say the Canadian family versus the United States family here, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. We have a couple surprises here in attendance tonight. Let's see, JJ Garrett goes to the top of the board, being the first one to put in a qualifying attempt. It looks like he's going to go a one and done here, so he goes with a 14.9, and he'll shut it down. Here's one of those surprises out there on track. It's going to be the 182 here of Pascal Boussoulé, as he is out here making his second race here with the NSA boys. As you see him, he's going to get one timed lap done because he actually ended up smacking the wall just a little bit in that 182 machine, so he'll go second on the board with a 15.24. Next driver going to come out here on track going to be the 224 of Carl Simard. Simard made a qualifying attempt last week, but wasn't able to actually make grid and take the green flag, so this would be his first actual start at Bristol, and what a track to try and make it. You see loose conditions out there in qualifying here. Another one of your drivers out here on track, like we talked about, just making the call here tonight after having power issues, going to be the number one here, Stephen Page. He's trying to look to rebound, seeing if he can gather some points here from the tricky concrete high bank short track here tonight from Bristol. Let's see where he's going to fall in here in qualifying. As well, that's not a great start there for the number one of Page as he turns her around. Let's find the number. There he is, the man, Chris Stump, after losing a couple points last week. Back in action, like we said, in that Cialis number 98 machine. He had quick time in practice, so let's see where he's going to slot in on the board. He goes P1 right out of the gate with a 14.654, so new quick time here in qualifying going to go to Chris Stump. So he does a one and done and takes her back to the pits. Another driver out there on track going to be that number 9, Jamie Christensen, like we talked about. Just needs a good run here to put himself closer into the championship hunt. Let's see where Jamie comes across the timing and scoring line. He goes third quickest. He's broken into the 14.9s. He goes 14.962 on his first lap, and he will try for a second lap. Let's see if he's able to drive that truck in just a little bit harder. Comes back across the line here. Last lap, not going to go any quicker for the number 9 here of Jamie, so he's going to right now be slotted in your third position. Another driver out here on track. It says number 2 on the side of that truck, but it's scored as the number 33 here, so we're trying to keep that straight for you with just about a minute and 30. Dustin Phillips really drives her down there into the corner. He goes second fastest on the board. Quick time there for Dustin Phillips. He goes with a 14.923 second lap. So Phillips having a great starting spot. Doesn't look like any other driver out on track just yet. Looks like Charlie Widener going to wait here. Chris Garrett also waiting. Carl Simard, we saw him come out. He looped it around. Stephen Page also came out and looped it around. Driver we haven't seen out here just yet is going to be the number 39, David Gervais. He has not been out here on track. Everybody else has taken a qualifying attempt here tonight. With just about a little over 30 seconds, I don't believe any other driver is going to come out here to attempt. I believe Charlie could have come out and attempted a lap along with Chris Garrett, but those two not electing to. They're going to start towards the rear of this one here tonight. I believe it's a 12-car field here for these gentlemen tonight, so it's not a huge, overwhelming size field to try and work your way through tonight. But it's still Bristol, and it's still going to be tight. You will see these trucks move up to the top lane before their tire run is up here. It's just the nature of the beast. Once the tires wear out, probably after about 6 to 8 laps, you're going to see a lot of these guys going up. Question is, though, with an open setup that these guys run here tonight, you're going to see who has the better open setup. Maybe you might be able to see a couple guys keep themselves down on the bottom lane here for an extended period of time, and that'll allow them to maybe make up a couple more positions here tonight. Tonight's race from Bristol Motor Speedway is brought to you by Voice Attack. Well, let's see if we can work you through your starting lineup here. Ladies and gentlemen, walking away with your Voice Attack pole going to be that number 98 there of Chris Stump, so congratulations to him. Number 33 here of Dustin Phillips going to start to his outside. Right behind them going to be the 35 of JJ the Fluffy Garrett. And rolling off in the 4th starting position here, the number 9 of Jamie Christensen. Starting there in your 5th position, going to be the Canadian redneck himself, John Francois, in that 397. Starting right alongside him, look at that, a twin, John Francois again, but this time, not the Canadian redneck. This man, the Pilotoit, going to start there in that 213 machine 6th. Starting in your 7th position, another one of them drivers from the north there, the 96 here of Daniel Boulet. Starting in the 8th position, going to be Pascal Boussole. Ladies and gentlemen, bear with me with the Canadian names. Not a professional speaker here with those, but I'm doing my best with them, and I believe I hit pretty close. But starting 9th here tonight, the 57 of Chris Garrett, and right alongside him, going to be the 39, David Gervais. Starting 11th, going to be the number 1 here of Stephen Page, and starting in the 12th position, that's the 95 there, Charlie Widener. Starting shotgun to the field in the 13th spot, going to be the 224 of Carl Samard. That's your 13-car field here, rolling for 250 laps from the concrete high-banked Little Last Great Coliseum here. And what a great show that usually Bristol will put on. So we're going to see how these boys attack this concrete jungle and who can come out the last great gladiator. Two pace laps here for these gentlemen to put some heat in the tires, a little heat in the motor, and then we will crank them up and see who can outduel who. Race number 6 here for the National Speed Association, presented by Voice Attack right here on MaxSpeedTV halfway through the season. What a good half we've had, and looking forward to winding them up here at Bristol to welcome in the second half of the season. Pace car diving in, so we're going to go green flag racing here, and Chris Stump onto the loud pedal early, trying to get away from these guys. Finds himself clear there of Dustin Phillips by the time he gets into turn 1, and that's exactly where he's going to look to stay. It looks like everybody is already pretty much single filed out. You got to go all the way back here to find the 39 here of David battling in the 8th position, and it goes away real quick with that battle, because then it's going to be Chris Garrett back here battling with that 96 there who's stuck on the inside. Looks like everybody's been away cleanly. Lap 1 already in the books, and Chris Stump has had that one all to himself. So that's exactly what he wanted here tonight. Looks like possibly maybe a little smoke off the front end there of that number 2. There's already damage all over that number 2 there of Dustin Phillips on our screen. Not sure where that came from at all because there's front end and rear end damage. We did see him kind of lag a little bit coming through the last corner. That could possibly be where he got a lot of the damage. Caution flag waving here. Looks like the 224 here of Carl Samard has gone around, and it looks like the motor has already expired on that machine. Let's go back as it looks like he was battling with that 96 there. Looks like he had already worked his way around the 96 of Daniel, so what happened here with Carl? Oh, he comes off corner number 4. Just gets a little loose and down to the inside wall he goes. So Carl Samard around off turn 4 here in the early going, and motor is expired on that machine, so it's going to be a lengthy wait there in pit road for himself. Caution flag number 1 here from Bristol Motor Speedway. Top 5 at the screen, or at the top of the screen here. After 5 laps, Chris Stump has led wire to wire so far. Dustin Phillips is second, with J.J. Garrett there sitting in your 3rd position. The Canadian redneck of Jeff right there running 4th, and Jamie Christensen hanging on to that top 5 position right now. Exactly what he needs to do here from Bristol is just hang out in the top 5 and try and get the best finish he can. Looking at the timing and scoring, it looks like Carl Samard has retired the 224 already, so he's going to early exit here from Bristol Speedway. He will head over to Richmond next week. That's where these guys are headed after they load the trucks up here. Going to go short track to short track racing before we head over to Talladega in just a handful of weeks with these gentlemen. That's going to put on one heck of a show, just like Bristol will here. Coming to complete lap number 7 here under our first caution stint. Should see the lights on the pace car go out here, and we should double them back up to go back green flag racing. 250 laps the distance, or I should say the circuits around the track. It's actually only going to equal out to about 125 miles, so it's relatively not that long of a race. But to hit all your marks right for 250 straight consecutive laps is quite a challenge, as we saw Carl Samard lose his focus just a little bit coming off turn number 4. Turn number 4 is a little bit tighter of a corner. The radius of that one is not the same as turns 1 and 2, so could have got him a little out of shape with his open setup, and that's what caused him to lose the rear end of that truck. But there goes the pace cars in here, and we're just waiting for Chris Stump as he fires off early. Chris Stump back on the loud pedal, green flag racing once again. I believe Dustin Phillips may have lost internet connection or something happened, because he's shown well off pace. Well, now his truck looks brand new on our screen, but he is well behind the field here and still having a little bit of connection issues. But Chris Stump got a great start there, and he's still out in front. J.J. Garrett, though, right now shown in that 2nd position. Let's see if we can find just a little bit of a battle back here. Looks like here comes Widener. He's trying to crack the top 5. He's trying to get around Pascal Busuli. Charlie up the hill a little bit, almost ran the 39 of David up the track. David able to hang on to that 39 machine, though, and we stay green flag racing. That's going to put Chris Garrett and David, though, in that 39. Oh, Charlie Widener down to the inside. Charlie Widener spun that number 95 around here. Caution flag going to come out, but it looks like there's smoke coming out the rear end of that 95 machine. That's going to spell some trouble. Let's go back here and see exactly what happened to Widener. Go over top so you can see the wiggle come out of the 95. There it is. Just comes right off the corner. It hooks dead left on him, and Charlie goes right into that wall. See if we can back that up a little bit and go in-car here with Charlie. It came right off turn number 4, and it just shot dead left on Charlie there in the 95. Might be an early end to his night. Last week's winner here up in a ball of smoke early on. Well, let's see. Maybe we can catch a quick word in here with Charlie Widener. Charlie, what happened out there?
Man, I ain't had a setup I liked this whole week here, and I just tried to push a little more than I should have, I guess, because I was actually getting some track position, and it just kicked out loose on the exit and never even tried to catch again. It just went all the way to the wall. Never had any control over it.
Yeah, last week he came running off the high there from the win in Texas. Fortunately, this week it looks like your night might be done pretty early here. How much damage do you have to repair on that 95 before you could get back out there?
Yeah, I'm done. It's 31 minutes required. So.
Well, there you heard it from the driver of the 95, Charlie Widener. A lot of damage, and it's going to be done for the night. He's going to have to load that one up and take it to the hauler, so it's an unfortunate ending to Charlie Widener's night here on lap number 15. But looking at it right now, it looks like Chris Stump has given up the lead here and brought that 98 machine down pit road. So the Cialis machine on pit road, and he has put on 4 fresh tires. It looks like quite a few people have actually come down pit road. Stephen Page, Daniel Boulette, Chris Garrett, Dustin Phillips, all those drivers coming down pit road here under caution. Looks like the lights on the pace car are off here. I think there might be a little discrepancy up here about who's going to start where. I believe Francois wants to start onto the outside here, but Garrett has the lane choice. There it is. Francois going to go to the bottom there. Jeff Francois. He'll start the Canadian Redneck machine there to the inside of JJ Garrett as the pace car is down and away here on lap 16, and JJ got one heck of a start. Might have been sleeping there for Francois as he's going to have to go side by side with Pascal in that 182 machine. And there goes Pascal. He's going to take it to the second position. That'll fizz out real quick as there's a battle brewing back here, though, with Stephen Page. Oh, contact! Back in the back of the field here. That's going to involve a handful of trucks. It looks like David in the 39 got a little loose, and I believe Dustin Phillips got involved in that. Daniel in the 96 is on his roof. That's not how he wanted to, start his night. And Chris Stump, I believe, got a good piece of that, too. Well, let's go back here on the replay and see exactly what happened here. I believe it started with the 39 getting into the back. There it is, a little bump to the back end of from the 39 to the 96, and there you see Dustin Phillips coming in, and there is Boulette there on his roof. Chris Stump did get spun around in that Cialis machine, and he did get her pointed in the right direction. A little bit of damage on that car. So he'll tag the rear of this field. So 3 early cautions here from Bristol. It's a tight little track. But it looks like Boulette might be out of this one. We do know Charlie Widener is out of this. So Boulette right now is towing in that 96 machine. Chris Stump stayed out, did not come down to get tires or anything on his truck, so he's going to stay out there. Top 5 at the top of the screen. Garrett finds himself still out front. Boussoule sitting there in your second spot. The Canadian Redneck still has his machine sitting there third. Jamie Christensen running in fourth, and Stephen Page is fifth. Take a quick look here while we're under caution and see where the track temperature actually is sitting right now, and that is exactly why some of these trucks are just not sticking while they come off turn number 4. Look at the air temp. Air temp up to 90 degrees. The track temp here, the concrete, is at 107 degrees Fahrenheit with it's a partly cloudy sky, but I'm sure right now a lot of these guys are praying that maybe the cloud cover would come here to Bristol and cool this track surface off, because right now the triple-digit numbers not playing kindly to a lot of these drivers. looks like the lights on the pace car go out this time by, so J.J. Garrett going to take that outside lane. He's going to put Pascal down there to the inside to see if he can make it stick. How about that outside lane, though? This guy running second to the outside lane. That's going to be the number 9 there of Jamie. Let's see if he's able to hook the outside there and get around a couple of those trucks to the inside. Waiting on the Mustang to pull down to pit road. There goes the Mustang. Now it's in the hands there of JJ. You see that pink car really fire off once again real early. Battles on for that second place, though. Pascal really making that inside work. Jamie didn't get such a great start as we thought he was gonna. And here comes Chris Garrett. Chris Garrett gonna slide down to the bottom here on Jamie and see if he can clear him. He does clear him coming out of turn number 4. So now put that 57 there of Chris Garrett, your championship leader, running now in your 3rd spot. He looks like he is on the move. He is on the hunt for something. He's going to go to the outside here. That looked for a moment like he was going to go to the outside on Pascal, but he elected to stay right in the tire tracks there of the 182 machine. He's just going to kind of ride there. He got the 3rd. Now he's going to see what kind of work he can do here on Pascal as he's right all over the back bumper. All over that back bumper coming off turn 4 once again there for the 57 to the 182. He's kind of riding around in the tire track, seeing what he can do. See, he's a little bit faster. That time going into 3. He dives it to the inside on the 182. Here comes Chris Garrett. Oh, he slides off turn number 4. All the momentum he just had, throw that out the window. He's going to have to rebound and see if he can get that truck back underneath him. His truck just did exactly what Charlie Widener's did and came off turn 4 and headed straight to the wall, but he gathered it up and he was able to save it. That could have been a save of the race here for Chris Garrett. Looking a little bit farther back, here comes Chris Stump. He's coming up onto the back of John Francois in that 397. How about David? He's going to dive it to the inside here in the 39. Not going to be able to put the grip down, the power down. Chris Stump going to motor right by him back on the outside. Have a slow truck down to the inside there. That looks like that's going to be Daniel in that number 96 here coming back out on track after spending some time on his roof. Chris Garrett, though, right now has almost a 2nd lead over your 2nd place of Pascal Bersuli. Chris Garrett, though, has caught back up to Pascal now in that 57 Under Armour machine. He's going to try and work that inside once again off turn 4. It looked like it was pretty good there. Let's see as he rolls through 1 and 2. He's going to end up clearing Pascal, so now he's going to take over that 2nd position. See if Pascal's able to mount a charge back to the back bumper of that 57. It looked like he could get there, but decided to back off. Back here just a little bit behind those guys, about 1.9 seconds back, almost 2 seconds back here of your leader. Has a great battle between Jamie Christensen, Chris Stump, and David here in your 39, the Man of Steel Chevrolet, and one of the lone Chevrolets here tonight. Having a good little battle here for your 4th, 5th, and 6th position. Stump onto the outside, trying to wind up that Cialis machine to keep it up all night. Once again in front of them. Oh, it looks like they're the slow car here, the lap down Silverado, the 96 of Daniel Boulette. Just trying to get out of the way. Chris Stump was coming at him with a full head of steam. Had to hit the brakes, throw the parachute out the rear end of that machine. A couple of your other guys trying to work around him. So your battle is still on here for your 4th position. Chris Stump did work his way around Jamie. Can he run away and hide from Jamie now is the question. Laps are ticking by real quick. We're already working lap 36 here out of the 250 scheduled. It looks like Dustin Phillips is bringing that. We'll call it the number 2 JBL machine down pit road. Still having a little bit of blinking issues for himself. But now here comes JJ Garrett. He has caught his brother. So now it's a Garrett versus Garrett for the lead. Fluffy finds himself out front in that of Timacady. Here comes the Under Armour machine saying he must protect this house. Side by side for the brothers into turn 3. Right now it looks like JJ able to defend off Chris right now. But Chris really seems to have that 57 machine tuned up. There you see it right through the middle of the corner. JJ just not able to put the power down like his brother of Chris, and Chris really got side by side. Now let's see, coming off turn number 4 here at the line, give the lap lead to the number 57 here. Chris, oh, a big wiggle, contact between the 2 brothers. Chris got loose on the inside and went up, hit his brother, bumped him into the wall. So now both brothers have a little damage. Sort of like the Kurt Busch-Kyle Busch rivalry out here between the two brothers. Which one can outduel who? Looks like, Chris had the quicker truck, just got a little loose there trying to put the power down, and up the track he went. Looking in his rearview mirror, because here comes Chris Stump once again, and Stump right in the high line in that Cialis machine. He's trying to get back up here to the Garrett brothers and try and split those two up. Bosule back here trying to battle it out with Gervais back here in that 4th and 5th position. As they are side by side at the line. Give it to the 39 there at David just for a moment, as it looks like he's going to be able to pass up that 182. So give Gervais that position right now, running in your 4th spot. So he's having a good run here tonight from Bristol. It's a slippy, slidey track right now, and right now the Man of Steel truck on the move back towards the front of this one. It just happened that time, coming into turn number 2, or coming out of turn number 2, sorry. Chris Garrett able to take the lead away from JJ. Now here comes Chris Stump. He's looking to the inside. He got to actually back out of the throttle just a little bit there, because looked like JJ's handling on his truck's maybe just a little loose right now, and it's something that a lot of these drivers are talking about on the radio with the sun beating down on the track. It's just very loose for a lot of these guys, and especially when you get underneath somebody, you fear that inside truck like we saw with Chris Garrett and JJ Garrett. You just can't get the power down the way you really want to come off the corner, and all sorts of out of shape you're going to get. That just happened to Chris Stump as he went to the inside there on JJ and just wasn't able to put it down, so has to rebound and let the tires on the truck cool down just a little bit, and he'll wind another attack up here in just a couple moments. Let's go down and ride the wall, Cam, while we watch this battle here for the 2nd spot. There you saw it. Chris Stump tried to go back to the inside once again, just was not able to put the power down there on JJ Garrett. JJ's not going to lay down just for anybody and let Chris Stump go by him. You're going to have to work to get around that pink number 35. Don't let it be mistaken just because he's driving a pink Toyota that he's any kind of soft. As actually now he's going to go to the inside. Makes me look like a fool. It looks like he's going to allow Chris Stump in the Cialis machine to get to the outside of the Timokady. Well, JJ, thanks once again, making me look like I know nothing. They already knew that. But hey, Chris Stump going to take the 2nd position here from JJ Garrett. So JJ Garrett going to have to try and hold on to the 3rd position, because here comes David Gervais. There in that Man of Steel truck, still on the move, and he's starting to really run down these leaders here on this long run. I don't know if it was maybe JJ holding up Chris Stump and Gervais just really on the move, or what was going on. We're going to have to see how it plays out here and see if Gervais can continue to run down Garrett in that 3rd position. Maybe he has something. Maybe he can go up there and battle it out with Chris Stump before this one is over. We're just going to have to keep track of things and pay attention. It looks like Pascal Bersuli back here in the 182 machine is now fallen into the clutches of the number 1 here as Stephen Page. Page not getting any laps in practice. His first laps out there on track were the qualifying laps that he had, and we saw he had a little bit of issues getting that number 1 truck under control in qualifying. Right now, Page has that truck up, though, inside your top 10, running in your 7th position, and he is all over the back bumper here of Pascal. Pascal, remember, on the restart a couple restarts ago, was starting on your front row, and had to start to the bottom and just wasn't able to get that 182 truck going. And he's now has fallen all the way back to the 7th spot with Page or the 6th spot with Page running 7th all over his back bumper. Jean-Francois Pilote is back here just about to go one lap down if he doesn't get on it, because his counterpart, the Canadian redneck of Francois back here, has just gone one lap down. So a lot of these drivers starting now to, or I should say Chris Garrett starting to get into a little bit of the tail of the field here now on lap number 60. That man out front, the 57 here, Chris Garrett, is putting on one heck of a clinic. Doesn't have a car in front of him, and he is the leader for the last 20 laps as he comes across, or will come across the line this time. It'll be 21 laps he's led out front of this field. He has a lap, or a lead here of 4.8 seconds back till you find this guy back here running in your second position. We saw him come down for a little bit of minor adjustments on the first yellow. The truck wasn't handling to his liking, and he gave up the lead after 10 laps, went to the back, and then got caught up in a little bit of a spin. Had to come through the field, and now runs in your second spot. That's Chris Stump there. J.J. Garrett just a little bit farther back behind Chris Stump, running about a second behind. That's J.J. Garrett. J.J. was up front, led 30 laps of this race in the beginning till his brother came to spoil the party. A little contact between those two drivers, and now J.J. just trying to hang on to that truck as you saw him come off turn 4 a little bit sideways in the intimidating. 39 here at David Gervais. Started in your 10th spot and really has a long run truck, it seems here, because the longer we run, the quicker he comes. And right now he's up to the 4th position, trying to run down J.J. Garrett. Man, just a little bit farther back, about a half straightaway back, going to be the number 9 here of Jamie Christensen. Started 4th, lost the position here in the early goings. Wasn't really trying to push the envelope, trying to damage up the fenders on this number 9. So right now he runs back here in your 5th position. Those are your top 5 drivers here after 66 laps here from Bristol Motor Speedway. Check back on those drivers in just a little bit. Let's see if we can find you a battle on track here. Looks like everybody's pretty much spread out. $11 out of your 13 drivers still out here on track. The last driver on the lead lap going to be Pascal Borsuli. Bosule, I guess it's really pronounced. One of the Canadian drivers here from the north, trying to battle it out tonight here for the National Speed Association, having a 7th place truck right now. He's your last truck on the lead lap, and actually I believe your leader, let's just check where Chris Garrett is. He's right there, about a half straightaway back, so Pascal needs to put that right pedal to the floor a little bit harder and see if he can find some more grip in that truck to run away from Chris Garrett here. You don't want to go a lap down here in the early going. Working lap 71, coming to complete that lap. Talked about that gap back to this man, Chris Stump. Now it's even opened up a little bit more. Chris Garrett really has the hot tune-up here tonight. Chris Stump has now fallen back to 7 seconds behind your leader. There you see Chris Stump working around the Canadian redneck of, I guess he wants to be called Jeff out here. Jeff, one of the Canadians also from the north. We have a bunch of the northerners here in this league, and it's good seeing them here to run with these guys. Right now, Jeff in the 9th position, 1 lap down. J.J. Garrett being worked over here by that number 2 there of Dustin Phillips. Phillips a lap down. Actually, it looks like he spent a couple laps into the garage with that number. It says 2 on the side of it, but it's 33 here in the lobby, as he actually is a little bit quicker right now because he has just come out of the pits. A lot of these guys out there on 50-plus lap-old tires. Dustin Phillips here only on 15 lap-old tires, so he's going to be quite a bit quicker as you see him working around the lap truck. Oh, here comes JJ. JJ making contact there with Jeff. Jeff running that 397 up the track there. He was able to keep it off the wall, it looked, but had to take evasive actions there. J.J. Garrett was on a mission trying to get by the lap down truck here. So as JJ still runs inside your top 5 here, running in your 3rd spot. Now the gap has opened up even farther for Chris Garrett, though. Chris Garrett now has an 8-second lead over 2nd place, so it just continues to grow. Next victim here going to be for Chris Garrett, going to be that 96 there of Daniel Boulette. As he's going to work around him, that's going to put Daniel 14 laps down and well off the pace here tonight, just trying to continue and carry on. The more laps you log, the better driver you'll be in the long run, and that's exactly the strategy that the 96 here of Daniel is trying to deploy after spending a little bit of time on his roof and having to take a tow. Anytime you have to take a tow here at Bristol, it just feels like it's forever, because even the pace laps here at Bristol are quick. Just like the pace that Chris Garrett is still throwing down. His last time by was still a 16.2, so he's only fallen off 1 second from the start of this race till now, and he's been out there for 69 laps on his tires. Stephen Page, the last truck on the lead lap here, the number 1 machine, looking like he's about to go down 1 lap to Chris Garrett. And there goes Chris Garrett around the inside there, coming out of turn number 4. So now leave 5 drivers left on the lead lap. And the next victim going to be that number 9 truck. He's only about a half straightaway ahead of your leader. He's trying to work around a little bit of lap traffic there. And this is the battle for position. Jamie Christensen and David Gervais here battling for the 4th and 5th spot. Neither of them want to be the next victim to go a lap down, so they're either praying for a caution here in this late of a run, or they are just looking to get by each other and run away and hide and see if they can continue to stay on the lead lap. These are your 2 closest drivers on track for the battle. The 39 there, the Man of Steel truck of David Gervais, holding off the number 9 here, Jamie Christensen, working lap 86. Both these drivers on a little bit of a different strategy. It looks like Jamie Christensen has yet to pit here this evening. He's been out there for 86 laps on his tires. As David in the 39 machine, he's only been out there for 65 laps, so he's got a little bit fresher rubber on that 39 machine. And I just saw it in the distance. Coming up behind them, going to be the 57 of Chris Garrett. He is motoring. He is just setting, I've said it numerous times here in the first 88 laps, but that truck is on rails, and it is coming. Almost a 9-second lead back to you can find Chris Stump. That's well over a half a track ahead. There you see it now with just in a couple truck lengths of the back bumper of the number 9. Jamie really needs to start finding the loud pedal here as he's looking at running a different lane here than the 39 here. So 2 drivers battling for position, running 2 different lanes as your leader approaches. Question is, are they going to move out of the way? They don't have to move out of the way for your leader as they are battling it out for the position. Chris Garrett might be just back here kind of searching, saying, all right, guys, I'll let you kind of settle this out between yourself, but I do got to get by you at some point, so let's not make it take too long. As Jamie going to go to the outside here, that's going to put him into the 4th position, and that's going to leave David Gervais now back here looking like he might go a lap down. Throws just a slight block there on the number 57 of Chris Garrett, but he does allow him to get to the outside. So Chris Garrett almost making contact there off turn 4. It gets a little tight when you come off turn 4. Go back up front here to where Chris Garrett is, because now he's ran down the number 9 here of Jamie Christensen. Jamie's going to hold his line here. He's going to stay to the top side. He's going to tell Chris if he wants to get around him, do it on the inside. Chris Garrett saying, no problem, my man. I'll take that inside lane here. I got the good setup, good rocking for me right now. A lot of these drivers were worried about wearing out that right front as Jamie tries to come back underneath the 57, but Chris says, no, you stay back there right now. So that's going to put 3 trucks left on your lead lap. And Chris Garrett not far behind that man. That's the next victim. Oh, a big wiggle out of the 35 there of J.J. Garrett. J.J. possibly losing a little bit of handling as he's been out there for 96 laps on those tires. There you see his brother right behind him coming up on him. Those two making early contact in this event here. As Chris was trying to work his way through the inside of J.J. at one point. J.J. got a little bit loose up the track. He went and caught his brother. Then they ended up working it out instead. You know, Chris, you can have it for now. Here comes Chris Garrett. You see him getting ever so slowly getting closer. You can see the camouflage front end of that Under Armour machine back behind JJ here. And you see it now. You can definitely see it's bright in the mirror of that 35 machine. These two brothers residing out of the Midwest here know a little bit about setups as they work on a modified. An asphalt modified, that is. Didn't get to talk to them before the race to ask how things happened. I know a couple weeks ago they were having some shock issues on that car, but right now J.J. Garrett having a little bit of handling issues on that truck. Working lap 102 here as J.J. Garrett goes down into the corner once again, almost pushes that Intimikitty up against it. So you see the two lines that the brothers are running here. Chris is running almost right down towards the bottom of it, just trying to stay away from the wall, as J.J. at this point knows he has to push his little heart out of that 35 machine. As you see, it looks like Chris Garrett just really able to roll the bottom through the middle of the corner. I mean, look at the speed difference coming off the corner there. Oh, big wiggle out of the 35 once again. This time the 35 going to go to the bottom of the track here to try and block just a little, as now he'll go up the track and Chris will end up sneaking by on the inside. It's exactly what Chris Garrett wanted, was his brother just to up the track out of the way, and that's what he did right there. Working lap 105 now here out of the 250. The laps are winding down pretty quick. Question is, when are these drivers going to have to stop here? It's 100% fuel for them tonight. Didn't get an exact fuel calculation. We're just going to have to watch and see who pits when and what the circumstances are. But that man out front has led, it looks like 65 laps here tonight. Oh, almost contact between your leader and the lap down car of Boulet. As he worked up onto the 96 there, got a little bit loose. He's going to be able to clear that truck now as he went to the inside there. He worked his way around him. That's going to put the 96 there 15 laps down now. Let's go crank it up here for a couple laps at Bristol before we head into green flag pit stops. Well, while we were away, somebody taking a little bit of a spin there, and it looks like it's going to be that 96 there of Daniel Boulet. We have to go back here on the MaxSpeedTV replay and see if we can find exactly what happened to Daniel as he was numerous laps down, possibly just the handling going away. Let's check it out. Oh, it looks like the 35 of J.J. Garrett went around and nowhere for that 96 of Daniel to go. We're going to have to take a little bit farther back here on the replay and see what happened. Let's go up over top here. Oh, it looks like J.J. coming out of turn 4, lost it, spun around right up into the groove there where Daniel was wanting to put the 96 machine. So 2 drivers being swept up into this one. Let's go back one more time and catch that off turn 4. You see the truck just snapped left, came back right. J.B. Christensen just barely able to miss that. And oh, wow, David Jarvis just coming through. Or Gervais coming through here. Let's go on board with David. There you saw, there was nowhere to go for the 96 of Daniel as David was already committed. He was going to go to the bottom. David was kind of running the high lane and just got swept up into that one. So all your leader is going to bring her down pit road here on 115 out of the 250 scheduled. So that's going to throw pitch strategy kind of out the window. Let's see who's going to come out of this one. I was going to ask who was going to come out of pit road first, as it looked like Chris Stump won the battle off pit road. Chris Garrett, though, having to sit on pit road for quite a while. I think he got a little bit of a pit road penalty because he spent 35 seconds in his pit box. That's not good. That's not what he wanted. As J.J. Fluffy Garrett's bad luck streak continues here tonight from Bristol, he's going to retire that 35 machine. He's loaded it up and headed home. Hopefully, he's got some better luck rolling on his side here coming up in a couple of weeks. I mean, next week we're at another short track at Richmond Raceway. Then we head over on the 28th of April to Talladega Super Speedway. Right now, we're going to see if Chris Garrett's going to be able to rebound after taking a little bit of a hit here in the pits. Looks like only 3 drivers on track, so he should be able to still restart to either the inside or the outside here, Chris Stump, and do battle themselves. And it looks like that's the guy who got his wave around, going to be the number 9 here, Jamie Christensen. But Jamie going to have to, I believe, if I remember correctly, will start shotgun to the field for being the wave around recipient. As I believe tagging the rear of the field along with Jamie is going to be Chris Garrett. Also might have got a speeding penalty, so that's going to put the lap down car here of Pascal Bersuli to the inside here on Chris Stump. Basule. Right now he runs in your 6th position, 1 lap down. So there you see the pace truck in. Chris Stump got a great start. He's just going to try and rock it away from everybody. He knows he has the advantage right now. He has to use it, and he has to run away and hide. The battle for the Lucky Dog recipients is right here. It's going to be between the 39 Gervais and the number 1 is Stephen Page. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that because it will be a long while until Chris Stump battles his way back to the back of the pack. Here comes the Canadian Redneck looking to the inside here on Pascal. That is a battle for position. Both those drivers being 2 laps down, battling for the 6th and the 7th spot. Chris Garrett there in the Under Armour machine trying to slice and dice his way through the lap down cars to try and get back to the front. Oh, contact there to the back bumper of, the Canadian Redneck is going to go around. John Francois, the Canadian Redneck, going to go around here off the front bumper from the 57. And there's some smoke trailing the 397. See, as they came off the corner there, 2 guys battling for the position. And Chris Garrett wanted to really get through the field, just make slight contact with that left rear off the corner all day here on the concrete. That's going to send the 397 around. And it looks like a lot of damage done to that truck as it is smoking on pit road. Not sure if he's going to be able to get back out there on track. We don't have him here in our team speak to get a word in with him. So we're just going to have to assume that his damage repair time is going to be quite extensive, so he's going to have to do some sitting on pit road. So it looks like Chris Stump going to take that Cialis machine and head to pit road along with Chris Garrett. Both those drivers going to come out here running in your third and fourth position. David Gervais, though, going to get his lap back in that 39 machine as he will come down pit road, so the shuffling order will continue to shuffle here under yellow flag pit stops. Look at that man right there in the 95. Widener back out here after having to sit for, I believe it was about 30 minutes in his pit stall after his motor had expired on that truck early in the going. But he's back out here. He can make up quite a few positions. I believe if he stays out there on track, he could pick up 2 positions yet tonight if he can continue to circle this raceway. The man who's out front, though, that is going to be the number 9 here of Jamie Christensen. I believe Pascal Boussole is going to get a wave around here because he is in front of your leader, so then he will stay just 1 lap down as he was 2 laps down. Now he will be 1 and on the same schedule as Stephen Page, but Page did come down and get 4 fresh tires on that number 1 machine, so we'll see that battle continue now. Just about halfway here from this one. And there you saw it. Pascal was waved around the pace car. He will be just 1 lap down, but we're going to double him up here once again. Jamie Christensen going to elect to take the inside here. Going to put Chris Stump to the outside with Chris Garrett now back in action there. As I believe we have a little bit of a blinking issue with one of the drivers to the outside there. Looks like that's going to be the 95 of Widener having a little bit of connection issues. So the pace car going to dive into pit road once again here. And green flag's in the air. There goes Jamie. He gets a great start on that number 98 there. Chris Stump. The question is, can he hold off Stump? Chris Stump and Chris Garrett back here. I keep wanting to say JJ. JJ's off the track right now in the 35 machine. Chris Garrett looking to the inside of Stump. Not going to be able to put the power down just yet. So they're single file out up here for the front handful of spots. There's your lucky dog recipient right now. If we would have another caution flag, going to be the number 1 of Stephen Page, but right now green flag racing, that's exactly what he wants to see. Last car on the lead lap going to be that 39 there of David Gervais. And he's going to look to the inside here on the lap down truck, the number 1 of Stephen Page. Trying to complete that pass is harder than you think. You may be a lap or a lead lap car, but it does not mean that Stephen Page is going to move over for you at all. Let's go back up front, though, because it is a 3-car battle here for the lead. Jamie Christensen trying to hold on right now over Chris Stump and Chris Garrett. So 2 Chris's versus Jamie. We're going to see how this one plays out at the front of this. Working lap 131 here out of the 250 as 3 different drivers running 3 different lines. Chris Stump trying to bring the middle line to middle groove to the quick lane, I guess you want to say. Chris Garrett just kind of following him around, shadowing him. Both those drivers look like they're going to clear Jamie. Jamie's now going to have to settle for a 3rd running position right now on track. Now the question is, can Chris Garrett work his way back around Chris Stump? Chris Stump seems to have a truck that really likes the high line. You see the sun is starting to set here. It's going to throw these guys for a little bit of a curveball. And look at Chris Garrett getting out of shape coming off the corner. He puts the 57 into the outside wall. A little bit of sparks coming off that truck on the backstretch. It's going to open up the gap just a little bit for Chris Stump. Chris Stump able to hang on now. Let's see if Chris Garrett can mount the charge back, or maybe Jamie Christensen back here just having a little bit of a breathing room, because here comes that 39 machine. We talked about him, you know, having a good truck on the long run. Now he has 4 fresh tires, actually a little bit newer tires than all the leaders in front of him, especially Jamie. He's on about a 8-lap newer tire run than the number 9 of Jamie. So we're going to see if David Gervais can run down the number 9 of Jamie Christensen here in the latter stages of this green flag run. I'm not sure if we're going to have to come down to pit road one time yet this evening, or if we should be locked and loaded to go the rest of the way, because they were up over 100 laps for a lot of these leaders on that first green flag run. And with just over 100 laps here, just over 112 laps to go in this one, we're going to have to see if they can make it on fuel. We saw a couple weeks ago Chris Garrett try to play the fuel strategy game. See if that's going to happen here tonight. At the line once again, though, here to complete lap 138. Chris Stump still finds himself out front in the Cialis machine. The Under Armour machine right behind him, the 57 here of Chris Garrett, still hanging on to that second position. A little bit farther back, starting to slide now after we've gone back green flag racing here for, I believe it's already 16 laps, 17 laps here now on this stint already. Jamie Christensen on those older tires starting to fade, and David Gervais starting to really come to life here, running down Jamie. That battle for your lucky dog position is still going to be the number 1 here of Stephen Page, because Pascal Bristol is quite a ways back here, running in your 6th spot. I believe it's about 3 seconds behind Stephen Page right now. And that man right there, John Francois, in that 213 machine, runs in the 7th spot, 2 laps down, so he's 1 lap behind his counterpart there of Pascal. And then you got to go even farther back. Yeah, he's in front of him right now, but this is John Francois, otherwise known as a Canadian redneck, who runs 7 laps down. The last car, I believe, actually I lied, the last car still running is going to be that man right there, the 95 of Charlie Widener, as he runs 101 laps down, but back out on track, trying to run down the 33 machine of Dustin Phillips. Dustin Phillips off track. It looks like Charlie needs to complete 24 more laps, and then he can take over that 11th position. And then it's going to be another 43 laps, I believe, 42 laps, until he could find the 10th position of Dustin Boulay, who's off track, as we actually have a caution. It looks like your 2 leaders tangled up. Chris Garrett and Chris Stump. Chris Stump electing to tow that 98 machine back to pit road. We're going to have to go back and find out what happened between Chris Garrett and Chris Stump. Chris Stump out there running that top groove just like he's been all night long. Here comes Garrett. Garrett, oh, Stump into the outside wall. Tries to hold it up there, but here comes Chris Garrett, and they make hard contact. I believe both motors have expired on those machines. Whoa, boy, this is going to throw a curveball into everything. Let's go back. Let's go back and see if we can ride on board here with Chris Garrett. Nowhere for Chris Garrett to go, as he came with a head of steam right at Chris Stump, and unfortunately, that might end both drivers' nights here. Both drivers battling for the lead, and as it looks like there is Chris Garrett down in pit road. Chris Stump also in pit road. You see the smoke coming out the hood of that machine. Both drivers, though, still sitting here in the lobby. That's going to turn the lead over here to the 39 here of David Gervais. Jamie Christensen still hanging on to second, and that will put Stephen Page back on the lead lap. Well, there's your top 5. Things have really shaken up. As you see, Chris Garrett is actually going to drop out of your top 5 in just about a lap here as we continue to run. Stephen Page is shown as your leader, but we know that is not correct because he was your wave around truck. He will actually be credited with the 4th position here in a moment, as you see it already starting to cycle through. So we would have had 5 cars on the lead lap here, but with the 57 and the 98 getting tangled up here on lap 145, and I throw the monkey wrench in it. Timing and scoring going to jump around a lot here from Bristol. Lights on the pace truck are going to go out. David's going to elect the inside lane here. It's going to put Jamie to his outside. Stephen Page will line up at the back of the field here as he was the wave around. Waiting on the pace car to make the left-hand turn. There it goes. Now the control is in the 39's hands. There's the green flag. David Gervais going to get a good start. Something happened there to Francois. He pulled to the inside in that truck. Maybe just doesn't have the horsepower left underneath the hood of that one. So David going to get a great start here. Going to be about 4 or 5 car lengths lead over the number 9 of Christensen. Seeing if he can run down that machine. So you got your 2 leaders right here at the front of your field, the 39 of Gervais and the number 9 here of Christensen. They are your 2 trucks at the front of this one that are on the lead lap. Something's happened here to the number 1 of Stephen Page. Page was up back onto the lead lap, but he's coming down pit road in that number 1. It looks like he's going to hit his pit stall here. Not sure what happened to Stephen Page, as now he's going to put tires on the truck. So that's going to put only 2 drivers back onto your lead lap. That's going to be your 2 leaders here. The 39 of David Gervais and that number 9 there, Jamie Christensen. Things at Bristol tonight are getting a little bit crazy. So there's your 2 leaders. Then you got to go 1 lap behind until you find Pascal Bristol. He sits there 1 lap down, sitting in your 3rd position now. And how the tides may turn here tonight, you never know. I think Charlie Widener at this point, if he can keep that 95 machine out there on track, he might even have a shot at this one. Then you got to go back here to Francois. He's back here in the 213. He runs 2 laps down in your 4th spot. It looks like Stephen Page still not back out on track. Now he's starting to roll out of his pit box, so he is now shown 4 laps down. Goes from being on the lead lap to 4 laps down. He might actually go another lap down before this cycles through here for him. So your leader right now, the 39 here, David Gervais. Jamie's still hanging back there, not a second behind him yet. But how about David here? He's led the last 11 laps of this event here. Started back in your 10th position. Now finds himself as the leader due to a couple guys making a little bit of contact. And he's not going to complain, because all he needs to do now is just try and run away and hide from that man right there. But he's actually closed up just a little bit. The lead is starting to shrink here just a little for David Gervais, as here comes Jamie Christensen. As Jamie runs there, still in that 2nd position. Now the lead is down just a couple tenths once again. So ever so slowly, the number 9 starting to come back here to David Gervais. Just needs to try and run a smooth race here for both these guys, because the 2nd place finish for Jamie here tonight could really close the gap, because he came in 17 points behind your leader of Chris Garrett. And Chris right now shown in your 7th spot. That's probably where he'll finish here tonight, unless he can get that truck back out on track. I don't believe anybody else could be... Looking through the timing and scoring, nobody else could catch Chris Garrett from behind. So Chris here tonight should be scored with the 7th place finish. Don't quote me, ladies and gentlemen, because it is Bristol. It could be one heck of a battle, and one heck of a battle is starting to brew here towards the lead of this one. Jamie's truck really starting to come on here after 20 laps on the tires, as now he's just about 4 car lengths back. A little bit of cloud cover once you hit the center and the center off into the corner there. You see the sun starting to set, which puts the shadows onto the track. Not so much in turn 4. That corner still looks to be pretty much still into the sun. Now it looks like only a 3 car lengths lead right now for David Gervais. Jamie Christensen starting to reel him in ever so slowly here on the long run. Working laps 170 out of the 254 tonight. Jamie really sending her off there into the corner, almost getting into the marbles there at the top of the track. Getting to the marbles here, there's not much room up there to save yourself. But the higher you can get closer to the wall, the little bit more grip you're going to find up there, and that's exactly what he was trying to do there. This time you see Gervais go up to the upper groove there to try and block, take a little air off the front nose of the number 9. There you can see the gap. There's pretty much no gap, as I believe we have a driver on pit road. That's going to be Francois. That's Jeff in that 397, the Canadian redneck off the pace down pit road. It looks like he's not going to be able to get that truck back to pit lane or to his pit stall. He might have to elect to take the tow on that one. But the battle's still brewing up here. Your 2 leaders on your lead lap still duking it out here at the front. Gervais doing everything he can right now to hold the number 9 of Jamie back there behind him. And he's just up there running his race, running the high lane. He knows that Jamie's there, but the question is, can Jamie get around him? We've seen the groove for a lot of these guys, other than the 57 of Chris Garrett, who is still really able to wheel the bottom lane. A lot of these guys haven't been able to venture down there. There goes Jamie this time. He looked down there for a moment, wasn't able to put the power down, but he's going to go right back to the bottom. Oh, Gervais into the outside wall a little bit, scraped there through the corner. Jamie's still about 1 truck length back on Gervais, so he's still hanging right there. These are your 2 closest trucks on track battling it out for position, so we're going to stay right here with your leaders on lap 179. You're watching the battle for the National Speed Association, presented tonight by The Voice Attack, and these are your front 2 competitors. The 39, the Man of Steel, David Gervais, out in front of the number 9 of Jamie Christensen. Running nose to tail after a couple of your leaders making contact. These 2 inherit the lead, and the battle they're putting on here. Look at the run that Jamie got that time off turn number 4. He's going to get to the inside here on the 39. Can he put the power down, or is the 39? The 39, you see the momentum run off the top. Jamie gets into the corner a little bit better than Gervais, but Gervais able to take the lead back there pretty comfortably, and he's going to try and run away with it now because Jamie's going to have to cool those tires down to see if he can make another run at it. There is another truck coming up in the background. That's going to be the number 1 of Stephen Page, who had to take the unscheduled pit stop, so he's got fresher tires than your leaders right now, so he's closing in on this battle. I wonder how much he's going to push the envelope to try and get around your 2 leaders here tonight. Jamie is starting to close in on the back bumper here of the 39 once again. And you see Jamie took in the bottom there, coming off turn number 4, trying to get the run down the straightaway, and he is there once again, back within the car length and a half. All comes down to, can Jamie get the power to, oh, really close there. Maybe about a foot distance between the front bumper of that Toyota there of the number 9 of Christensen to the back bumper of that Chevrolet there in the 39. We talked about in the pre-race, we thought the groove was going to move to the top of the track, and we really see it. It is to the top. Jamie has made an attempt to go to the bottom, just hasn't been able to make it stick down there. Oh, maybe a little contact there off the corner for the 39. 39 has a little bit of right front damage on that Superman machine, but Jamie in the number 9 in that Toyota, that thing looks pretty clean. It looks like it doesn't belong here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Number 1 of Stephen Page still closing in on the back bumper of this battle. Jamie Christensen, he is there. He is going to show the nose to the inside here of the 39. Can he get it this time to stick off the corner? Still can't. Oh, big wiggle that time for Jamie. A big wiggle off turn number 4. It looked like his truck was going to head to the inside, but he kept the foot in it, and he's going to stay right there, maybe about 2 car lengths now off the back bumper of the 39. Jamie just keeps throwing passes. He's going to get there sooner or later. He's just got to keep his foot into the flout pedal and point her in the right direction. Now he's just going to have to get back to the 39. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when here, and they are going to come complete lap 191. They will be nose to tail once again. At the starting line, nose to tail, it's still the 39 of Jarvis. As, oh, he makes a little contact. Now he's going to allow Jamie to get side by side. He still carries the momentum down the straightaway, though. What a battle we've watched here for the last, I believe it's coming to complete 46 laps that these guys have been doing this back and forth with each other. Gervais has been able to really hold on to that lead. Jamie has shown a couple times that he's had the faster truck, just hasn't been able to make the pass. Gervais is just hanging on at this point to that 39. Let it go, my friend. Let it hang on the high side, and oh, another scrape coming off corner number 2. That just shows how hard these two drivers are really pushing it. You see, David's been into the outside wall a number of times. Jamie's been up alongside him, gotten loose a handful of times, and they're going to do it once again here off turn number 2. I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but watching these guys go round and round from this little tight track, only doing 16-second laps here side by side. I'm getting a little dizzy from the bull ring. Once again, here comes Jamie off turn number 2, side by side into the corner. Gets a good run that time through the center, but look at the momentum David's able to carry off the top. Jamie's really able to get through the middle of the corner on the bottom. David just carries so much momentum coming back down the straightaway. He's really able to fight back. Now it looks like Jamie has just about a half a truck at the line. It's going to be Jamie Christensen now to the lead. Jamie now has that number 9 Toyota in the lead, but here comes David Gervais as he battles back and takes the top spot. Jamie's now back to the top. Timing and scoring going to jump at the line this time by. It's going to be the 39 back to the point. That outside lane is just so dominant here at Bristol, as you're able to carry so much speed. Coming to complete lap 199, going to start here on lap 200. Side by side once again for the lead. There you see Stephen Page has caught your leaders here, but now he's just riding behind him. He has not made an attempt to go anywhere because, well, he really can't go anywhere because your leaders are side by side at the line. Now they go single file, but when you're still the lap down car there as Stephen Page, you don't want to really mix it up too bad with your leaders until they kind of make the mistake, and then you can kind of scoot around both of them. So after 200 laps, those are your two leaders out front, David Gervais, and it's going to be Jamie Christensen Pascal Bristol is back there. Yeah, Bristol. Yeah, see, I'm getting it. I think. He runs in your third position, 1 lap behind these leaders. As, a big wiggle out of the 39 as he goes up into the outside wall, sparks flying everywhere. Stephen Page in the number 1 had to back off the back bumper of Jamie Christensen, give the leaders a little bit of breathing room up there now. Comes that number 9 looking off turn number 4 like he has a little bit of a better run off the corner. Now he's there right to the back bumper. What does he do when he goes into turn 3 here? He's going to run the high line. David Gervais really pounding her off the outside wall. He does have to watch how hard he hits that wall because they do have a 20-point incident limit here tonight from Bristol, and he doesn't want to exceed the 20-point. Doesn't want to be booted from the race lobby as they're going to work around Pascal Bristol. That'll put Pascal running in your third position, 2 laps down as your leaders worked around him. Jamie still just trying to find a way around the 39. Jamie now side by side at the start-finish line once again, trying to look to the inside here on David. It looks like he has a great run this time. He clears him off turn number 2 there, not able to slide up in front of him though. Can he hold it through turns 3 and 4? Oh, 39 into the wall. That's going to allow the number 9 of Jamie Christensen to completely clear the 39. The 39 is going to go to the bottom now and try his luck to try and get around Jamie Christensen. Jamie holds that number 9 truck to the outside. He has the momentum, and now he has the length. He has the car length over the 39 now. New leader here on lap number 210. 40 laps to go this time by at the line. Can Jamie Christensen now start to run away and try and hide and win this race here from Bristol Motor Speedway? Ever since Jamie has now worked his way around the 39, David Gervais has started to fall back just a little bit, almost a second behind your leader now. Now Stephen Page, if he has anything left in the tires, can start to pounce and try and work his way around the 39. Charlie Widener, who's been out there just kind of riding around trying to weather the storm that he had from the early going, has already picked up 2 positions here now just by him staying out there. And if he stays out here just a little bit longer, he actually might end up bypassing Chris Stump for that 8th spot. So we have to keep an eye on Charlie Widener. Charlie having a little bit of connection issues still. I know a lot of the storms rolling through the United States right now, so possibly Charlie could be in one of those areas. I know I'm in that area myself. I'm under that tornado watch here in Pennsylvania. Looking out the window, it's dark as can be out there, so I can't see it. Just got to worry about that hail that's coming along with it. But Jamie Christensen, the only thing he's got to worry about right now is those laps clicking down. They need to click a little bit faster for Jamie Christensen. That's all he's worried about right now. Trying to keep that truck pointed in the right direction. 39 of Gervais back here. He has now fallen over 2 seconds behind the leader. Stephen Page, like we said, on those fresher tires, got to your leaders and just didn't push the envelope, is now just sitting there kind of riding behind David. As David had a little bit of connection issues himself there. How about that man right there, Pascal? Just kind of having a, you want to say, a solid night here. He does find himself 2 laps down, but just hanging there in your 3rd position. Let's go back up front here to your leader. Jamie still finds himself out front here. Going to be 30 laps to go next time by. Let's go crank it up style one last time here from Bristol. Well, there it was. Your final crank it up here for the night from Bristol. That man right there, the 39 of David Gervais, just hanging on to a second place right now. Finds himself sitting almost 4.5 seconds back behind the man who's got around him. They put on one heck of a battle. Jamie Christensen, though, able to work over David Gervais till David made just a little bit of a mistake and tapped the outside wall. That's allowed Jamie to get around. And at this point now, he's led 30 laps since that has happened. Now he's just trying to run away and hide and finish this one off. We're going to get the 20 to go marker here in just a handful of laps. Working now on to lap 228. Jamie Christensen not putting that number 9 machine in victory lanes just yet this year. But what a way to walk out of Bristol here. You can win one here. You can win anywhere. Right now, still only 2 cars on the lead lap. Jamie Christensen and David Gervais. Pascal Bristol runs in your 3rd position. John Francois there in the 213, still running 4th out there on track. Still 2 laps down, just has to try and catch up to Pascal Bristol, as I'm not sure. It looks like he's about 6 seconds behind Pascal right now, so he'd have to really get on the hunt to try and catch him. Stephen Page still runs in your 5th position. Not sure why he had to take that unscheduled pit stop down pit road, as he sat there for, I believe it's 46 seconds on pit road, so probably a penalty on the restart or something went wrong for Stephen Page that took him out of contention here tonight. John Francois, the Canadian redneck, sits on pit road with that 397. Chris Garrett still sitting on pit road trying to get repairs done to that. And then there's Charlie Widener, the long shot story here. Texas winner from last week. Runs right now 101 laps down, running in the 9th spot. Just trying to weather the storm and try and gather as many points as he can here tonight. Right now he's only 12 laps behind Chris Stump. 15 laps behind Chris Garrett. So if he just stays out there and stays running on the lead lap, he could pick up 2 more positions here before the night's done. That man out front, gonna see the 16 to go marker from his spotter this time. So 16 more circuits around the Bristol Speedway. Jamie Christensen just has to run a clean race. It looks like that truck has been pretty clean here tonight. I don't think I've seen him into the outside wall nor into any kind of scuffles, as every quarter panel on that truck looks fairly clean. Let's check back and see where David Gervais is. Right now he runs 2nd. Now it's a 7-second lead for Jamie Christensen over the driver here of the 39. As I believe Stephen Page, Charlie Widener, oh no, in the late going here. We're going to line them up once again before the end of this one. Stephen Page bringing out a yellow here, and oh no, Charlie Widener involved in this one. Let's go back here on the MaxSpeedTV replay, as they were just kind of out there running single file. Let's see what happened to Stephen Page. Oh, it looks like Stephen gets loose going into the corner, overcorrects it. Charlie Widener with nowhere to go. Charlie gets tangled up in the wreck that he didn't want to see out there at all. Let's go back and take a look here from Charlie's in-car camera. There you heard it. The motor just straight expires on the 95 here of Charlie Widener. He's going to be able to limp it back around, but unfortunately, I think that might definitely do it in tonight here for the 95. All he needed was 8 more laps around the track, and he would have been able to pick up another position. But you see Charlie Widener in his pit boxes. Your 2 leaders going to come down pit road here. They're going to put 4 fresh tires on it, and they're going to duke it out here with under 10 to go. We're going to step away one final time here tonight before we bring you the ending here to the National Speed Association here tonight, presented by Voice Attack.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, welcome back here to Bristol, still under the yellow flag conditions. Your 2 leaders out front right now, Jamie Christensen, David Gervais. Pascal Bristol is 1 lap down, running in your 3rd spot. John Francois in that 2:13 machine, running 2 laps down in your 4th spot. And it looks like right now that could well be the only 4 trucks left here at the Coliseum to duke it out here for 8 more rotations. Once again, we thank everybody for tuning in here on MaxSpeedTV tonight. The National Speed Association presented by Voice Attack here, doing 250 laps here from the last great Coliseum of Bristol Motor Speedway. And it actually started with 13 trucks, and right now we're down to 4 trucks. Jamie Christensen and David Gervais, the only 2 trucks on the lead lap. The other 2 trucks 1 lap down there for Pascal and John Francois, 2 laps down. Jamie gets a great start here on the restart, though. He's going to clear David Gervais before they get to turn 1. It's going to be really on between those 2 guys, so we're going to stick right here at the front of this one to see which one of these 2 drivers are going to walk away as the winner here tonight. Here comes David Gervais. He's going to throw it to the inside. He's going to get tight off turn 4, so he's going to have to settle down and try and come back on Jamie here. 7 more laps around Bristol. Seven laps. Now it's going to be 6 laps this time by. Jamie has about a 4 or 5 car length lead, almost over the 39 of David Gervais. What does David have left in the tank? Can he battle back here? See David go straight about to the middle of the groove. Jamie's still rocking the inside lane. It's going to be 4 laps to go this time by at the line. 4 more times around here for Jamie. Can he do it is the question. We're going to find out here in just a moment. His lead is now up to about a half second over David Gervais. I know Jamie didn't want to see that caution. Neither did Charlie Widener. Unfortunately, that yellow coming out. But with 3 more laps to go, Jamie's looking like he could be in the good spot right now. David Gervais not closing the gap. 2 laps to go here from Bristol. Jamie that time by opened up the gap just a little bit more back to David. White flag in the air. The final lap here from Bristol Motor Speedway for the National Speed Association, presented tonight by Voice Attack. And Jamie Christensen just needs to get around turns 3 and 4 here to win his first race. He's through turn 3, through turn 4. Checker flag in the air. Winner here tonight from Bristol Motor Speedway going to be that number 9 there of Jamie Christensen. Number 39 of David Gervais going to hang on for the 2nd spot. And how about Pascal Bristol? Bringing home that 182 machine, looking fairly clean on that truck. He comes home 3rd. And John Francois there in that 213 machine going to come home 4th. Those are your final 4 trucks left to do battle here. Stephen Page going to finish 5th, and the Canadian redneck himself going to come home 6th. Chris Garrett 7th, Chris Stump 8th, Charlie Widener 9th, J.J. Garrett 10th. Daniel Boulet going to come home 11th. Dustin Phillips there is 12th, and Carl Simard is your 13th place finisher tonight. So as Jamie Christensen burns her down, we're going to step away to bring you your post-race interviews with your drivers here for the National Speed Association, presented tonight by Voice Attack here from Bristol. Welcome back here to Bristol Motor Speedway. 250 laps in the books here tonight for the National Speed Association, presented by Voice Attack right here on MaxSpeedTV. Jamie Christensen, you see him right there, your winner after he did battle there with that 39 of Gervais. Those two put on one heck of a show. Jamie, though, going to be able to outlast David in the 39, but I also caught up with the man who comes home third, just one lap down out there tonight. That's going to be Pascal Bristol. Pascal, you are new to the league here, but tonight at Bristol, you put on one heck of a show to show these guys that you belong.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, it was a fun race, and you guys have a lot of pace, but I tried to manage to get on third.
Yeah, tough battle here tonight from Bristol Motor Speedway. Is this a track that you're really tested for, or was this a track that you're not really a fan of but still came out to do the battle?
I raced here in a couple of times in other leagues and official race, so I have a lot of laps here, but not at the track in Xfinity cars, but the track is not new for me.
Well, not new for you, but hey, a third place finish here tonight for yourself. Is there anybody you got to thank, any shout outs you got to give, anybody that helps out that 182 machine for yourself?
Yeah, I want to thank my team, my teammates, both Jean-François, so Jean-François Pilote and Jean-François Lavoie. They had a good race too, so too bad that for Lavoie that the blood in his engine, but Pilote it was a good race.
Well, there you heard it from Pascal, who came home in your third position. I also caught up with our second place finisher here tonight. David, you've ran a good race up there. You really battled for the win here tonight. Unfortunately, just coming up a little bit short.
Yeah, the truck got a little... we loosened it up right on the last pit, but it wasn't enough. And I should have left it alone because I was pretty good on the get-go. Made it a little bit too loose.
Yeah, you battled the loose condition, but how about that battle that you and Jamie put on at the front of this show here after your two leaders got together? It kind of handed the race over to you two guys to decide who was going to win it. He hung there on the bottom for a number of laps trying to get around you, and then you just seemed like maybe made one mistake here tonight.
Yeah, I was getting really, really tight on the long run, running that top line, so I had to give it to him. I just couldn't. I tried to hold them off as long as I could, but it was just getting way too tight.
Yeah, too tight here. But you still had a good truck tonight. Who helps you out on the 39 truck that you got to give the shout-outs to?
DeMarco Sparks. He helps me a lot. He runs the league, too. He worked on the set, and I just drove the wheels off of it.
Sometimes it's easier just to be the driver of the truck than the man who does the setup. And tonight, Dave, you're going to come home in your second spot, so a good run for yourself.
Appreciate it.
And the man who finally put his truck in victory lane, I caught up with him also. That's going to be the number 9 here, Jamie Christensen. Jamie, how the heck did you do it? You survived out there, and that truck looks brand new like it just rolled off the truck.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how I did it. It's just kind of patience, kind of waiting things out. 250 laps. David ran me real clean, and he was real hard to get around. Like he said, he was definitely a class of the field there towards the end, and I was real worried because when we had that late caution there, I wasn't sure if I was going to get back around him if he happened to get in front of me again, because he was just so fast at the beginning. But it worked out in my favor. He made one good run right there. Made me really nervous. I had to kind of get on it there, but real happy with the results, and just glad to be in victory lane.
Yeah, it's your first time here in victory lane with the National Speed Association, and with the guys that are out here. Normally Chris Stump and Chris Garrett. You were the guy that kind of just sat there and watched those guys battle it out. What did you see from your point of view as they got tangled together?
I think Chris got into the wall a little bit and bumped out into Chris Stump into Chris Garrett there, and tore up the trucks a little bit. But those things happen at Bristol with short track race, and then when you're going hard, Chris Garrett he definitely had the setup, man. That guy was on rails, top line, low line. I mean, he put the whole field almost down there in that one stretch. So it's unfortunate for him, but that's the way it works out sometimes. And I'm sure he'll be back up front and probably in victory lane here soon enough. So.
Yeah, and that's here at Bristol, but looking forward to here in your schedule. It looks like we're going to head over to Richmond next week. How do you like your shots at Richmond, or are you looking forward to 2 weeks when we head over to Talladega?
I'd rather go to Richmond, to be quite honest with you. I like that. Really like Richmond. Have a pretty decent setup for there, so I'm pretty excited about it. We'll throw up another practice here during the week, similar to what we did with Bristol, and get out there. We did about 300 and some laps, and I know Stephen Page was really helping me out with some setups. We were going over some things, and we thought we had a pretty fast fast truck for Bristol, but we were definitely not testing in the race conditions because it was a bit cooler. So the hotter temperatures today kind of threw it off. But no, looking forward to Richmond, and then Talladega is anybody's race. Anybody can win that one. But you need friends, so we'll see how it works.
Yeah, friends when we hit the super speedways is something that everybody's going to need. Well, Jamie, who do you got to give your shout outs to? Who helped you out here this week on that number 9 machine?
Well, like I said, Stephen Page really helped me out this week, and just going over setups and trying to learn them with these open setups. I'm not the best at them, and so I'm just still trying to learn them. Chris Stump throws a hint out there here and there every now and then. So I guess besides that, I'd like to really thank Gary at Voice Attack. He does a lot for the league and hands out these licenses to the race winners, and he's been a partner of ours for about a year and a half now, and yeah, I can't thank him enough for sponsoring the series, and really appreciate that. And you, Roger, in the booth, really appreciate you putting on the broadcast. So thanks again.
Well, there you heard it from your winner here tonight, Jamie Christensen, finally able to park that number 9 Toyota Tundra in the victory lane, and that was here from Bristol Motor Speedway. What an event we saw here tonight. We saw quite a few long run stretches here with these guys that were able to really stretch their legs to see who could outdo who, and Jamie was the one who came out on top here doing battle tonight as he continues his victory celebration. I'm sure that will carry on well into tonight, might even see a Monday morning here. But for everybody here at MaxSpeedTV and the National Speed Association, presented by Voice Attack, that's going to do it this week here from the Bristol Motor Speedway. Catch us next week, the same time right here on MaxSpeedTV with the National Speed Association from Richmond. Another little short track where they can go toe-to-toe to see who can win that battle. So until next week, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe.